Hi friends, welcome to Crazy Analysis channel. Today we are going to see Ncert Class 8 Geography Chapter 1 Resources Notes. First we shall understand the lesson. Resources. Resources are anything that has some utility to satisfy our needs is known as resources. Human beings are important resources because their ideas, knowledge, skills lead to the creation of new resources. Types of resources. There are three types of resources: natural, man made, and human resources. Natural resources, which are drawn from nature and used without much modification, are known as natural resources. Human made resources, when original form of natural resources is changed by human beings to make it more useful, then it is called man made resources or human made resources. Human resources. People are human resources. Education and health help to make people a valuable resource. On the basis of development, resources are classified as actual resources and potential resources. On the basis of origin, resources are classified as abiotic resources and biotic resources. On the basis of distribution, resources are classified as ubiquitous resources and localized resources. On the basis of their stock, resources are classified as renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Actual resources. Actual resources are those resources whose quantity is known. Rich deposits of coal in a Ruhr region of Germany, dark soils of Deccan Plateau in Maharashtra. Potential resources. Those resources whose entire quantity may not be known, which are not being used present time, are known as potential resources. Example: uranium found in Ladakh may be used as potential resources. Abiotic and biotic resources. Abiotic resources are non-living while biotic resources are living. Solid rocks and minerals are abiotic while plants and animals are biotic resources. Ubiquitous and localized resources. Resources that are found everywhere, like air we breathe, and are ubiquitous resources. But those which are found only in certain places are localized resources, like copper and iron ore, such that. Renewable resources. Renewable resources are those which get in renewed or replenished quickly. Example: solar and wind energy. Non-renewable resources are those which are present in limited stocks and one exhausted may take thousands of years to renew. For example, coal, petroleum, and such that. We have to conserve resources, otherwise non-renewable resources will be exhausted and people will be face shortage of food and shelter. Any substance, living being, or service that has utility, uh, that is can help in any possible way, is said to be a resource. A resource has some value. The value can be associated with money, painting, that you have to pay money to get it, or just a mental satisfaction. Example: when you look at a beautiful painting or scenery, it feels pleasant, right? So the painting or scenery has utility. Example of resources include books, stationery materials, clothes, utensils, furniture, your teacher, your school, rivers, water, electricity, and so on. The economic value of a resource may change with time. A substance may or may not be a resource depending on our knowledge. If we don't know how to write with a pen, then certainly the pen has no utility for us. So, in this case, the pen is not a resource. However, for those who know how to use a pen, it is a resource. So, technology ideas, knowledge, invention, discoveries, etc. makes a substance a time may also be a factor for involving in making substance a resource. Water has always been there, but its utility to manufacture electricity was not always known. When people realized that water can be produced electricity, water became a source in a new way. Resources may be natural, human made, or human. Natural resources are those that are taken from nature. They are used without modifying them, that is, in the same form as they exist. Rivers, lake, air, soil, minerals, trees, mountains, etc. are natural resources. On the basis of level of development of resource, a natural resource can be actual or potential. An actual resource is one which is currently used. We know their quantity. Example are coal deposits. Potential resource is one whose utility is not known at present or is not used despite having utility. Instead, it may be useful at some time in future. It means that it has the potential to have utility, although it does not have any today. Example include uranium deposits in Ladakh. On the basis of origin, resource can be abiotic or biotic. A biotic resource is one that has life. Example plants or animals. An abiotic new resource is not living. Example soil, rock, furniture, and books, and so on. Natural resources may also be classified as renewable and non renewable. A renewable resource can be used without any risk of its ending up. They exist in unlimited quantity, for example, solar energy and wind energy. On the other hand, use of non renewable resources need to be controlled since once they end up, they cannot be renewed. Examples are coal and petroleum. On the basis of distribution, a resource can be ubiquitous or localized. Ubiquitous resource is found everywhere like air, whereas a localized resource is however found in certain parts of the world only. Like we cannot find coal everywhere. Human resources have not been provided to us by nature. Human beings have used their intelligence to manufacture them for their own use. For example, includes vehicles, building roads, telephone, and etc. Human resources include people who serve us in any way. Your teacher, doctor, carpenter, cobbler, etc. are human resources. Human resources development refers to an improvement of people's skills so that they become more useful than before and are better resources. Human resource development refers to improvement of people's skill so that become more useful than before and are better resources. We can contribute to sustainable development by switching off lights when not needed, by recycling things and use them again, and in more ways. Resource conservation is a concept of using resources carefully so that they do not end up quickly. The future generations also need the resources, but if we keep using them at a fast pace, they may end up thus posing problems for the future. We should use resources in such a balanced way that we satisfy our needs as well as conserve them for future. This concept is called sustainable development. We can contribute to sustainable development by switching off lights when not needed, by recycling things and using them again, and in many ways. Here I have given some important terms which are very useful. Utility. A substance has utility if it can be used in a possible way to satisfy our needs. Value. A worth of a substance accessed on the basis of utility. Resource. Any substance having utility in any way is a resource. Patent. It applies to exclusive right over an idea or invention. Technology. The application of latest knowledge and skills doing or making things is called technology. Natural resource. Natural resources are those that are taken from nature. Actual resource. An actual resource is one which is currently or whose quantity is known. Potential resources. A potential resources is one whose utility is not known at present or is not used despite having utility. Instead, it may be useful at some time in the future. Abiotic resources. An abiotic resources is non-living resources. Renewable resources. A renewable resources can be used without any risk of its ending up because they exist in unlimited quantity. Non-renewable resources. A non-renewable resource is one which is present in limited quantity. Ubiquitous resources. This resource is one that found everywhere. Localized resources. A resource that is only found in certain parts of the world and not everywhere. Human-made resources. Resources invented by human beings by using their intelligence is called human-made resources. Human resources. A human being who can contribute to his family, society, or economy is called a human resources. Human resource development. Human resource development refers to improvement of people's skills so that they become more useful than before and are better resources. The stock of resource. A amount of resource available for use is called its stock. Resource conservation. Resource conservation is a concept of using resources carefully so that they do not end up quickly. Sustainable development. It is a concept of using resources in a balanced way so that a purpose is solved as well as they are also conserved for the future. Resources are classified on the basis of four types. First one is use, second is origin, third is source, fourth is renewability. First one, use. Use is classified to actual and potential. Second, origin. Origin is classified of biotic and abiotic. Then source, natural, human and human-made. Renewability is of two types, renewable and non-renewable. I hope this is helpful for you. Thank you.